بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وبعد وحييكم إخواني وأخواتي إلى درسنا الخامس والثلاثين في دروس في اللغة العربية ونقول لكم أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم إلى درسنا. في الدرس الماضي تكلمنا عن الفعل المعتل وتكلمنا خصوصا عن الفعل الأجوف. So in the previous class we spoke about the weak verb, and one type of the weak verb is what is called al-ajwaf, and prior to the ajwaf was al-mithal. So al-mithal was the one that has the weak letter as the first letter, which is the waw. So if the verb begins with the letter waw, it is called mithal. And we have seen very clearly that if you conjugate this verb in the perfect tense, the waw remains, but in the imperfect tense, the waw, the weak letter, is omitted. And we have also seen in the command what happens. The weak letter is also omitted, and then there is no alif for the command, or what is called the imperative form. And then we went on to the next verb, which is the ajwaf. And ajwaf, we said, is translated as the hollow verb. Basically, this verb is recognized by an alif coming as the second letter of the verb. It is a verb that is easily recognizable because it has an alif as the middle letter or the second letter of the verb. And this verb, of course, in the conjugation I mentioned that in the perfect tense, the weak letter is dropped out. So it is unlike al-mithal. If the verb begins with a waw, the waw is maintained in the perfect tense. All right? But the waw is omitted in the imperfect tense. But for the hollow verb, the verb that has the alif as the second letter, the alif is omitted in the perfect tense conjugation. And we said for a person to be able to conjugate the verb in the perfect tense, they will have to know what is the imperfect tense first. All right? So some grammarians, they tell you to look at the imperfect tense, or some of them will tell you to look at what is called the masdar. Al-masdar is basically the verbal noun. Okay? And the verbal noun basically is either with a waw or a ya. So for example, we have the verb qala. All right? Qala. We said qala is a hollow verb, a weak verb, and it is called ajwaf. Don't let the name bother you too much, right? The name is not so important. The grammarians have given the verbs different names so that when they talk about them and they just call the name, you know quickly what it is. All right? So basically, we want to know the function of the verb, basically. All right? So qala, they said, at the present tense is yaqulu, or the imperfect tense. Yaqulu, yaqulu. So we said we look here and see what we have. All right? But some grammarians say instead of looking at this, you look at the verbal noun, which is qawl. Qawlun. All right? And here you have a waw. So for the conjugation of the verb, you will be using the vowel that is suitable for the waw, which is the dhamma. All right? So grammarians will also tell you that the word qala, verb qala, originally was qawl, and the waw was converted to an alif. All right? So from qawl, you got the word qala. Hence the reason, like for some students who you have to, sorry, who have to, find words like looking in a dictionary. Some dictionaries, if you have to look for qala, you will have to look instead of qaf, alif, lam, you will have to look for qaf, waw, and lam to find the meaning. But since the verb itself will be a new verb for you, that you don't know, that's the reason why you're checking your dictionary, you would not know whether to look for qaf, waw, and lam, or whether you will have to look for a ya instead. So that brings me to the next type of hollow verb, where the imperfect tense is not with a waw, but rather with a ya, right? And of course, we said that if you have to conjugate the verb, you can always go back to the previous video, all right, and see that we have omitted the weak letter, and then all we had to decide now, after we have added the relevant pronouns, or the addition of the letters that we would normally use when we attribute it to the different persons, all right? Third person, first person, second person. We know what are the relevant letters we would normally add to the verb. And the final decision that we'll have to make now is to know what is the first vowel, the vowel for the verb, whether it will be a dhamma or kasra or what. All right? So we finished with qala, and we said qala is a verb that was used a lot of times in the Quran, in just by, like in this form alone, is like over 529 times, I think I had mentioned. About 529 times the word qala was mentioned in the Quran. And then you have the various forms of the verb. So it is a word that every student of the Arabic language must know. Qala means he said. All right? So sometimes the verb looks just like that, like this word here now. This is another verb. All right? So we notice there is also an alif as the second letter, just like qala. Ba'a means he sold. All right? So before I attempt to conjugate the verb, I will have to say, well, ba'a, tell me what is the present tense or the imperfect tense of ba'a, so that I will be able to know what vowel to put. So I tell you, ba'a, the present tense is yabi'u. 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 All right? And it is not like qala. Notice qala yaqulu. So ba'a, not yabu'u, but rather yabi'u. So now, as a student of the Arabic language, when they see verbs like this, they cannot determine and they cannot tell you, all right? They will not be able to know what is the imperfect tense unless they are being told by their teacher, for example, or they check the dictionary, okay? So now, if I, as a student of the Arabic language, I come across a word looking like this, where we have the alif as the second letter of the verb, all right, and I have to look for this word in the dictionary, there are only two possibilities for me. One, I can check ba, waw, and ain. So I'll check for ba, waw, and ain. And of course, you would not find that in the dictionary. So your next option will be ba, ya, and ain. So ba, ya, and ain, and then you will see like that, for example. So ba. But you would not find this one. All right? But as a beginner, that is what you will have to do. All right? You will have to look for the two possibilities, either waw or a ya, anytime the verb looks like that. Okay? So now we have the word ba'a, which means he sold. And if I want to conjugate the verb, I have to remember that for the third person, the verb remains just like that, with the weak letter inside. So it'll be ba'a, he sold. And for she, it will be ba'at. Ba'at. All right? With the ta, the feminine ta. And if it is two, we just add the alif. So it will be ba'a. Ba'a. And if it is plural, ba'u. 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 All right? And if it is two feminine, like they, two female, they sold, what is the singular? Ba'at. So if you want to make that dual now, ba'ata, ba'ata, ba'ata. And then for the third person plural, right? Plural, feminine, she follows second person and first person. All right? So let's look at the table and then we'll understand. All right? So I have said it. Maybe some of you were able to follow as I was speaking, but I know most of you like to see the chart and like to follow it slowly. All right? I understand. So we're going to do that. All right? So here is our verb that we're going to conjugate. The verb is ba'a, which means he sold. So we have our table here, al-jadwal. Jadwal means table. Al-mufrad, al-muthanna, and al-jam'. Al-jam'. All right? And then we have mudhakkar, mu'annath. And then we have our line there. And we said third person, it is called al-ghaib. By now, inshallah, I hope all of you, all of the students, can remember the words and their meanings, like al-ghaib, al-mufrad, al-muthanna, al-jam'. And tell me what is the next word I should write here for the second person. Somebody tell me, shout out and tell me. I can't hear you. Right. Al-mukhatab. 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 Mukhatab means you. All right? And the speaker, which is the first person, can be either a male or a female. And it's called mutakallim. Al-mutakallim. Okay? So our verb is ba'a. So masculine, ba'a, he sold, ba'a. All right? Feminine. Feminine is what? Ba. And let me write with the red. Ba'at. Okay? Ba'at. Okay? We're not coming here as yet. Okay? And the reason is we just want to finish off this to see how the ba and the alif is maintained right through. So we're moving across here now. And for two individuals, ba. So that's, we take the singular and we add the alif. So it'll be ba'a. All right? Ba'a. And we take the singular here. Ba'at. Ba. And then ata. Ba'ata. Ba'ata. Ba'at. Ba'at. And then we add the alif. All right? Ba'ata. And if it is plural, ba. And then we have the waw and the alif, which we said is a separation. Ba'u. Put a dhamma here. All these are fatha. Ba'u. And for this, we said that she, this one, always follows the same pattern like these. Okay? Here is nothing. So what do we do? Ba and weak letter and the ain. So we drop out the weak letter. We remain with ba and the letter ain. So we're going to change the shape of the ain because we have dropped out the alif, and it's going to be written like that. All right? And this is one here. Okay? And here, ba, ain. Okay? And then all of them, ta, and ta, and ta. All right? Masculine, ta. Feminine, T. I, speaker, tu. So easy. It's very easy. All right, as you can see. And then this letter has a sukoon. Sukoon. Okay? And because now we said the imperfect tense is yabi'u. Yabi'u. We have a kesra. All right? Kesra, the ya. Ya and kesra. All right? So that is what really determines what vowel the first letter takes. All right? So we have kesra, kesra, kesra. So it's bi'ta and bi'ti and bi'tu. So now we know what to put here. All right? This is ba, ain. The alif was dropped out. And then we have the noon. All right? The noon always has a fatha, and there is always a sukoon before the noon. All right? Guess. Bi'na. Bi'na. Short. Bi'na. And this is very close to this one here, except that this is a short noon, and here is a long noon. All right, so let's write in that. So this is bi', right? And this is na, na. So bi'na, all right? This is bi'na, weasel, bi'na. And this is bi'na, short. All right, so don't mix up the two of them. Okay? Now what we have here remaining. Okay. We have bi', bi'. We have bi'. Okay? The endings you all should know by now. The endings. Okay? Tuma and tuma. All right? This is tum and this is tunna. All right? So it's bi', bi', bi'. All right? Bi'tum. The additional letters to the verb are letters that all students must memorize and know, immediately, quickly. If you want to speak, you have to know these. All right, so you have to be able to switch from one to the other depending on who you're talking about or you're talking to. All right, or whether you're the speaker. All right, for the speaker is either singular or plural, no dual for singular. All right, either singular one or more than one here. More than two then. All right, two people don't speak at the same time. So we have bi'na, bi'na. All right, so the closure for this conjugation is, if you want to conjugate the hollow verb, you must know what is the imperfect tense conjugation first to determine the first vowel of the verb, because it will change. For the third person, everything remains intact, just like the verb. You just do the additional letters. All right? With the exception of the female, the feminine plural. She always follows like the rest of them here. All right? So basically that's what it is. Okay? And from this now, we can go to the conjugation of the imperfect tense. All right? So we keep our table, all right? And we go to the imperfect tense. All right? So, yabi'u goes here. Yabi'u means yabi'u. Yabi'u. He sells. He is selling. He will sell. Always remember, for the imperfect tense, it is either the simple present tense, the present continuous, or the future tense. Yabi'u could mean any one of them. It could either mean he sells, he is selling, or he will sell. That one word could mean any one of those three. How am I going to know? Remember, you have some helping words in your sentence to determine whether it is simple present tense, present continuous, or future tense. All right? So, yabi'u. So what did we do? We added the ya, which is, it is called ya'ul mudara'a. Ya. All right? Ya for the masculine, and then for the feminine it is ta. All right? Ta. So instead of yabi'u, we will have what? Ta bi'u. Tabi'u. This is yabi'u, and this is tabi'u. So Muhammad yabi'u al-khubz. Muhammad is selling bread. Khadija tabi' sayyarataha. Khadija tabi'u sayyarataha. Khadija is selling her car. All right? Tabi'u. Masculine, feminine. Okay? Now, if we're moving across here, so it's the same ya, which we added here. And this will be the ta for feminine. Okay? And here also will be ya. And this one we will say just now. All right? So, take the singular. Yabi'u, bi'u. Okay, bi. And we want to make it two. So, two is alif and nun. Yabi'ani. Yabi'ani. Okay? Take the singular again and make it plural. What do? Ya. We have the ya there. Bi. Yabi. Make it plural. Add the waw and the nun with the fatha. Put the dhamma there. Yabi'una. Yabi'una. This is yabi'ani. This is yabi'u. So yabi'u, yabi'ani for two, yabi'una for plural. Always remember, for the plural form, remember muslimuna, plural, muslimuna. And the verb follows the same pattern. Yabi'una. All right? Yabi'una. All right? Now, feminine now. We take the feminine here. Singular. Tabi'u. Okay? Tabi. And then we want to make it dual because there are two female. Tabi'ani. Okay? And this one, what she likes to do, follow the rest. Coming back to her. All right? here, this one and this one is the same. So we have a ta there. And all of the second person conjugation, they all begin with ta. So we can probably do that one time. Put in the ta. Put in the ta. All right? Ta. Ta. Okay? So the two of them, they are the same. So this will be tabi'u. Right? So always remember that the feminine and this one, they are the same, the masculine. All right? These two are the same. And this one is ta. B. Tabi. And because it is feminine, second person, you're speaking to a female. All right? Are you selling your car? If you're asking a female, are you selling your car? First you say, you are selling your car. So how do you say you are selling? Tabi'ina. Tabi'ina. Hal tabi'ina. Are you selling your car? سيارتك. هل تبيعين سيارتك? So تبيعين. All right? Here. Take the singular. Tabi. Sorry. Tabi. All right? And then we have the alif and the noon. Tabi'ani. 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 All right? Whether it is two female males you're talking to, or you're talking to two females, there is no difference in the conjugation. All right? So, tabi'ani. So, the three of them here, they are the same. Okay? Tabi'ani, tabi'ani, tabi'ani. So, you want to say feminine, third person. All right? You want to say they, like the women, they. All right? Al-Muslimat. Tabi'an. Right? Al-Musliman. Sorry, two. Al-Muslimatan. Two female Muslim. Al-Muslimatani tabi'ani. Al-Muslimatani tabi'ani. Baytahuma. Their house. Okay, now we come to the plural. Now remember, for the plural, third person, she has a ya. And for the second person, there's a ta. The two of them are similar. It's only the ya and the ta makes the difference. So, yeah, bi'. And then we have a noon. So what we have seen here is ya, bi', na. Right? We have seen the weak letter. Notice the weak letter there. The weak letter has been dropped out. Ya, bi'na. So that this rule could be fulfilled. The noon with a fatha, and just before it, you have a sukoon. So, yabi'na. And from there, we can go here. We have the ba for the verb, and the ain of the verb. And then we have the noon. Right? Tabi'na. This is tabi'na. Notice the difference. ta, and this is ya. This is ya, ta. The rest are the same. Third person, feminine, plural, yabi'na. Second person, tabi'na. The difference between the two is the ya and the ta. All right? And for the masculine, it is just like this. The difference will be the ya and the ta. So this yabi'una, this will be tabi'una. Tabi. Now we have the plural, una. Okay? What's the difference between these two? We have a ya, this one has ta. So this here and this, just like the same. And this one here and this one, almost the same. It's just two letters different. All right, so that's the conjugation of the verb, and then we have, of course, the first person, a. This is ya, and this is ta, and now we have a for I. So it will be abi'u. Abi'u means I am selling, or I sell. All right? And for the plural, we said here, second, two, dual, nothing there. And then for plural, we have noon with a fatha, na, and the continuation of the verb, bi'u. Nabi'u. Okay? Nabi'u. Of course, you must know the rules of joining. Alif cannot be joined to letters coming after. All right? So the alif cannot be joined. It must be separated there. Nabi'u. Right? That's what the conjugation of the verb looks like. All right? Now, so I don't think I have anything more to tell you about the conjugation. By now, you should recognize the letters. You must know by now the letters, the additional letters that you would normally put for the conjugation of the imperfect tense verb. All right? The only difference, or the only change that you might see is basically the omission of the weak letter, the ya. The ya was omitted for the feminine plural. But all of the rest, all right, all of the rest of the conjugation, you could notice the ya has been maintained. All right? And then we would look now at the command, the imperative. Right. So now we are going to look at the imperative form of the verb ba'a. Okay? So, ba'a, and we want fi'l al-amr. Fi'l al-amr means the imperative. All right? The imperative. Imperative. Okay? So, imperative, always remember the second person, using the imperfect tense of conjugation. All right? So, remember we had to go back to the second person, which is masculine and feminine. So, we had yabi'u, right? Yabi'u. And then we had, not yabi'u, second person, always remembering it's ta, bi, ina, tabi'ina, and then here is two of them is, why am I writing ain all the time? Tabi'ani, tabi'ani, and here it is tabi'una, tabi'una, and this is tabi'na. Good? So, first thing we do, take out the ta. Take out all tas. All right? Take out all the additional tas. Okay? And take away all noons. So this noon here, out, 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 except noon niswa. Feminine noon cannot be removed. The women power. All right. Then, so we have, this is the ba, put back the ba there. Taking away all the weak letters. The ya, weak. The ya is the weak letter. All right? Take out the weak letter. All right? Ba'a yabi'u. Remember, the ya. Okay? Weak letter. The weak letter was already dropped out here. Okay? Weak, when you're weak, you don't have too much of power, so sometimes they get rid of you. So we have ba and ain alone remaining. So we bring them closer together now. So we're going to rewrite them. All right? Write it a little bit closer. All right? Because now they have to bond. They're not enemies. One word. Ba and ain. So we had, and sukun here. Bi'. Bi'. Sell. Sell me your car, boy. بعني سيارتك يا شكير بعني سيارتك. Sell me your car. And if you're telling a sister, let's bring the ba closer to the ain. Right? And then we can't write the ya like this. We have to make it the proper way. All right? Well, like this. All right? But here is what happens. Sorry. For the imperative, all right, the ya comes back. All right? Normally, when you take this and you want to make it feminine, you just add a ya to make it feminine. Right? Like ijlis, male. Female, you say what? Ijlisi, you just add a ya. Okay? But for the weak verb, all right, the weak letter comes back here. All right? So it's bi'i. Yeah, let me write down back. Let me write back this verb here carefully. Let me write this verb in the perfect tense. So it is ya bi na. All right? Yabi'ina. All right? So we took out the noon. And we took out. So it's supposed to be not yabi'ina, but ta. Right? It was tabi'ina. So we took out the ta. All right? So this is what happens. It becomes bi'i. So we're going to write this the right way. The ya has to be written like this. So it's B and then E. Notice the difference between bi' and this is not bi'i, but bi'i. Ya and ya. Bi'i. So the weak letter remain. Bi'i. And this one here, it's bi'a. Bi'a with the ya. All right? And this is bi'u. Bi'u. And this is bi'na. Bi', bi'i, bi'a, and bi'u, bi'na. So the ya is maintained here, here, and here. That's how you get the imperative form. If you want the negative imperative, don't sell. You have to bring back the ta. So it'll be لا تبع. Bring the ta. لا تبيعي. لا تبيعي. لا. Bring back the ta. لا تبيع. لا تبيع. لا تبعنا. لا تبعنا. So you just bring back the ta for the negative imperative. So basically that's how the conjugation is for this type of hollow verb and any other verb that takes the same type of imperfect tense. So examples of verb like ba'a, you will have another word, another verb like bata. Bata means to spend the night. And the imperfect tense is yabitu. Yabitu. And by the way, the word bite came from this, right? Because bata means to spend the night. Yabitu. In Surah Al-Furqan, chapter 25 of the Quran, Allah talks about some of the qualities of Ibad al-Rahman. وَالَّذِينَ يَبِيتُونَ. So, hum yabituna لِرَبِّهِمْ. Maybe we could look at that ayah of the Quran. Right? Because the whole purpose of all of these conjugation and so on is basically to understand, Quran. Right? Wa الذين يبيتون لربهم سجدا وقياما. Right? So we know this word. Mentioning some of the attributes and the qualities of عباد الرحمن وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلام. You have here in the next ayah say والذين, and those يبيتون from the verb bata, which is the present tense. Yabitu, this is plural. They yabituna, right? وَالَّذِينَ يَبِيتُونَ لِرَبِّهِمْ, to Rabb, Lord, and him, there, to their Lord. Right? So they spend their night to their Lord, or for their Lord. Right? Sujjadan means they perform a lot of sujud. All right? This is a derivative of the verb sajada. All right? So you have sajid and sajidun. That's one form of plural. All right? And here is another derivative of the word sajada, meaning that these people, they perform a lot of sujud. Wa qiyaman. Qiyaman means standing. So prostrating and standing. All right? So we have the verb here, bata yabitu. All right? So when you're being introduced to a verb, all right? For example, Sarah. All right? Sarah. You would not know the origin of this alif. Was it a waw or was it a ya? All right? So for you to be able to conjugate the verb in the perfect tense, you have to know what is the imperfect tense. So if you have to check the dictionary, your two options you have. You check seen, wow, and raw, and see if you will find Sarah. If you don't, then you will check seen, ya, and raw. So basically, Sarah, the imperfect tense is ya, si, ru. Ya, si, ru. Sarah yasiru. Sarah means like to take a trip, and sayr, right? To walk or to take a walk. Yasiru. Like ja'a, yaji'u. All right? We have ja'a, present tense, yaji'u. It's written like this. Yaji'u. Ja'a yaji'u. Right? So huwa yaji'u, he is coming. Hiya taji'u. All right? Anta taji, you're coming. Hal taji, are you coming? Hal taji. Hal taji'ina ya Fatima. Are you coming? And then she said, Na'am, aji'u. I am coming. Yes, na'am, aji'u. All right? And so on. You just do the conjugation. So that's how it is for this type of hollow verb. Now you have some of the hollow verbs. They remain nama. The imperfect tense of nama is yanamu. Yanamu. So it is not yanumu with a waw, neither it is yanimu with a ya. Rather, the alif is maintained. Okay? So it is yanamu. Nama, yanamu. Nama means he slept. He slept. Yanamu, he is sleeping. All right? He is asleep. He will sleep. All right? Yanamu. All right? So if you have to conjugate nama, yanamu. Huwa, yanamu, he is sleeping. Hiya, tanamu. Change the ya to ta. Hiya, tanamu. Let's go to the dual. Take the singular, yanamu. Make it dual, yanamani. All right? And plural, yanam, add al waw and nun, yanamuna. Right? And then for the feminine, tanamu, she, tanamu, hiya tanamu. And two female, what will be? Tanamani. Ta-na-ma-ni. Tanamani. And hunna, which is they, it will be yanamna. Yanamna. So the alif, weak letter, is now dropped out. Yanamna. All right? Then second person, tanamu, tanamani, tanamuna. All right? Feminine, tanamina, tanamani, and tanamna. Tanamna. I am sleeping, anamu. I'm going to sleep. All right? Or I will sleep. Sa'anamu. Right? Sa'anamu بعد الظهر. بعد صلاة الظهر. Sa'anamu بعد العشاء. Right? I will sleep. Nanamu. Nanamu. We will sleep. You want me to write all of that on the board? You all should have been able to do that. You all think? All right? I think you should be able to conjugate that verb easy. The alif is maintained and the alif is only dropped out for the third person feminine. All right? So let's look at the command then. All right? Let's look at the command. So masculine, feminine, Mudhakkar, mu'annath, second person, that is well known. We're looking at imperative. We want to know how to get the command of nama. You want to tell somebody, sleep, sleep. All right? So first we look at the command, at the conjugation of the imperfect tense. So imperfect tense, all of them, remember, they begin with ta. Let me write in the ta one time, because sometimes I slip and I put ya. All right? They all begin with ta. This is the singular column. This is the dual column. All right? And this is masculine, this is feminine. All right? Now, so yanamu is he, but you, masculine, singular. Singular, this is singular column. Tana, mu. All right? And this is tana, mi, na. And this is tanamu. And this is jewel. Sorry. This is jewel. I have to write. I don't have space here. I have to move it back a little bit. Tana, ma, ni for jewel. Right? Whether it is masculine or feminine is the same thing. Two of them the same. And this is tana, mu, na. And this is tanam. Tanam. Ta, namna. Tanamuna. All right? So we're taking away all the noons except this noon. Take away this noon. Take away this noon. All right? Take away the ta. All right? The weak letter. And then changes dhamma to a sukoon. All right? So basically, the noon and the meme. Nam. Nam. For the feminine, the alif remains. And then we change the shape of this ya. Right? And we get it like this. So it's nami, nami, nama, nama, namu, and namna. Namna. Right? That's the command of nama. All right, so nama means he slept. Just like nama, you have na, la. Nala means to take. All right? To take. So the present tense of nala is yanalu. Yanalu. She will be tanalu. And you know the conjugation already. So I don't think we should have any problem with that. All right. We didn't have. I didn't have enough time to check some of the quotations from the Quran for you. All right. Where you could probably have some of those words, but some very interesting words for the weak verbs that we have done so far. Whereas we have the waw as the first letter of the weak verb, and we give just maybe about 2 examples. But you have some other verbs you could probably write like that. So we already have qala, right? And you could have qama. Qama means to stand. And then you have soma, which means to fast. All right, soma, to fast. You have tofa. Right, tofa means to circumambulate, to go around. Tofa. All right. Kana. Kana, verb to be. He was. Kana yakunu. All right? Kana yakunu. The command for any one of them, you should be able. So you remember the command for qala is what? Qul. Right? By looking at the verb right here, you should be able to get the command. Right? So the weak letter is dropped out. So qul. What will be the command for qama? If you follow the same example, the same pattern, drop out the weak letter and put a dhamma on the first letter. So you have qala becomes qul. Qama becomes qum. So if I said, Ya Muhammad, qum. Qum ya Muhammad. Stand up, Muhammad. Fast. Sum. Tuf. Kun. Innama amruhu إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون. All right? When you hear people sometimes they say Allahumma laka sumtu. So you have the dhamma. All right? So how would you say I stood up? You say qumtu. Qumtu. You have to know the imperfect tense first. So all of them, the imperfect tense has waw. Qala yaqulu. Qama yaqumu. Soma yasumu. Tofa yatufu. Kana yakunu. Yawma yakunu nasu. Let's write that one. Yawma yakunu an-nas. كالفراش المبثوث. Right, so يوم, the day, يكون الناس, mankind will be, كالفراش, moth, butterflies, مبثوث, scattered butterfly. All right, so you have all of these verbs and many other verbs like them. So basically, in summary, what we could say is verbs with the alif in the middle could either be changed to waw or a ya, or the alif is maintained, right? And then I've seen that sometimes the alif is dropped out for the conjugation, and sometimes the alif stays. So you'll have to just memorize those, all right? So that's why these weak verbs are a little bit technical and a little bit different from the others. And that's why you have to learn them like that. All right? So that brings us to the end of today's class, inshallah. And until we meet for our next class, Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.